In this video, we're going to go over how to draw up all these elevation points from this property line. If you have a CAD file that has all those elevation points, you can likely import them. But we're going to talk about just going over doing them from scratch from this file. So to start, we want to go to massing and site. And in Revit 2024 and 2025, we are given a tool called Toposolids instead of the traditional topography tool. And I think ultimately this tool really isn't much different. I think it just feels a lot more complicated. And so we're going to start off by creating a box, and I'm going to grab a box that's a little bit bigger than our property here. And I'm specifically actually going a lot bigger because eventually I want to develop some context. So we have maybe a road here, and maybe this line is too far over, maybe this line's too far over, but we want to have some context around our building. And so whatever you decide, and if it helps, you could rotate this box to match, but I'm just going to leave it as is for now. And we're going to start off by creating this box. And this box is obviously going to hide our PDF. And so I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to start by making an override graphics and view by element. And we're going to make this topography 100% transparent right now. And this is going to allow us to see through and see our PDF as we start to draw this. So that's kind of a first good little steps. And again, I'm just going to hit the save button. Just try to remember to save as much as you can. So let's start to place our points. And I'm not going to place all the points, but I'm going to place some stuff around the road and maybe around the edges of the property and the inner parts of the property we probably won't place just because we might end up grading some of that. You can go and add as many points as you'd like. What we're going to do is all these points, we're going to add just the raw number. So it looks like we have a point around here, 176.75. There's a point at the corner here. So let's go ahead and add some of those. We're going to zoom out. We're going to click on our topo surface. We're going to click modify subelements, and we're going to click add point. And this elevation is going to be in reference to the survey point, and that'll matter a little bit more later. So we're going to change up here to reference to survey point. And over here, this we never want to touch. We don't want to touch its height offset from level. So let's go in here. We're going to change this to be, we're going to place a point here, and we can place a point and then we can adjust this after, or we can adjust it before, 176.46. And it's going to start to give us all these lines everywhere. So let's place another point. We have something around here. This one is 176.75. And actually, sorry, these are meters. So let's change this one here to meters to 175.46 meters. What I might do here to save some time, so I'm just going to click UN on the keyboard. Let's change our units. If you like to work in feet, you can still work in feet, but I'm just going to change this temporarily to meters. And that way it'll just make it a little bit easier for typing in all of these numbers. We just changed our length to meters. So let's grab a few more points. We'll zoom out, grab the edge of our topo surface, click modify, and we'll click add point. And again, to the survey point, this will be let's do 177 or 176.4. That's this point right here. And you can look around and see if you see any other points with this same number, or not. Let's go to 175.61. Point here, 175.70. At a point roughly around here. Let's go to the other corner of the property. 177.75. So there's actually a little bit of grading going towards the back. sorry, going towards the street. I mean, so it's steeper at the back than it is at the front. Um, so we have a few points. Let's look at what this looks like in 3D. So it looks super awkward, but let's fix that. So let's click on this. We're gonna go to modify. We're gonna select our boundary points, and let's move them up to like 175. So now we have a really thick topo surface, and the edges don't really matter that much, but once you get done placing the points, here's where this kind of gets a little bit fun, and maybe fun's not the right word to use, but we want to be able to reference these numbers accurately, and so I place those outer points down to 175, and so you want to just pick a number that works for this. And so what we're going to do here, I want to lower our topography and our survey point. And so if we tab over this, we have the triangle one. We're going to lower both down by 175. So we're going to drop these 175. And so when it comes to the site plan now, we have these contour lines here. And if we go to add labels to the contour lines, it's showing these as really small labels. But what we can do under edit type here is we can adjust this to be per the survey point. And now it's going to tag these contour lines, and so they show the proper elevation above above sea levels to match these different points we have going on there. So I try to never change my project base point location, because typically we work within a template and everything is set up in relationship to that template. So what we end up doing is lowering our survey point down so that we can reference that lower sea level. Essentially our survey point becomes their sea level location, and then we can use that to get proper contour lines. And so going back to this, say if I want to add some new contour lines, we can go add a point, and if we change this to be per our survey point, it's gonna, if I just click, let's just find a point here. Let's go to 176.01. Let's see what that looks like here. And so it's going to be all the way down here. So it's 176.01. And now it's going to raise that point up to be in its proper elevation point. So this is a great way to have the different elevation points properly in your project, but not change your building's location on all of your sheets and title block and template. And so this process gets a little bit used to, but by lowering the survey point with that topography by that predefined number, I just picked 175 just to keep that a really even, really nice number. But you just want to keep that in the back of your mind. Sometimes what we'll do is in our site plan, we have actually another page we do this on, but we can actually indicate, and with some text here just saying survey point and topo lowered by 175 meters. And I'll often write that in just as a way to keep notes for myself. We have another place we actually do this on our project information page, but it's a great place to keep notes. And so that's how you start to develop and place all your topography in your project. Again, I'm not going to do all the topography points, but you're certainly welcome to do some. So in our next video, we're going to be going over a little bit of context modeling. And so I find context modeling is fantastic for trying to visualize your property a little bit better and your project a little bit better, but it also reduces the amount of complexity in your project. And so right now, this should keep you going on your contour lines and your property lines, but the next video will be about context.